I am, where am I from? In Los Angeles. I'm from Bakersfield. And when I was in Bakersfield, I was from Washington. And when I was in Washington, I was from California again. And then when I was in California, I was from, outer space. Because the thing is, as a nerd, you don't ever feel like you belong anywhere, so nowhere is really, where you're from. It's like the phrase, wherever you go, there you are. If you're a nerd, that's wherever you go, there you are, awkward. Anywhere I go, I can feel not at home, or I can feel out of place anywhere. Like if there were a convention for half Chinese, half black, atheist, alcoholic comedians who spend too much money on books, I would skip the mixer, and I would stay up in the hotel room because I would feel like I wouldn't meet anybody like me, and I would make an ass of myself. And so I would stay up in the room and use the overpriced hotel Wi-Fi to Facebook chat other people at the convention, because obviously they're all going to be in their hotel rooms too. And we would talk about what we normally talk about, which is how difficult it is to meet other cool people like us in real life. That's why I like the internet, because it's like a convention of 30 million me's that just never ends. I also I worry that I'm a bad person because I was watching Star Wars because that's what nerds do. They get their thing from stuff like the. I get my foreign policy from Star Trek because they have the Prime Directive, which is don't interfere with the internal politics of a pre-war culture, which I translate take to mean we as a people shouldn't invade countries whose primary mode of transportation has hooves. And I guess that makes me a socialist. I learned about friendship from The Lord of the Rings. What do we learn from The Lord of the Rings? Like differences between people. And by people I mean dwarves and elves, but it translates into like real people as well. Can be solved by going out into the woods and killing subhumans, which is also a basic tenet of the KKK, but that's a coincidence, and we don't. I'm not a rape, but like there's some things that we share that are like sort of. There's kind of. Also, I don't. I also learned that a ring is a crushing burden that will steal your soul, and you're better off spending time in the company of other men, hairy-toed men, which also is a basic tenet of homosexuality, which is also not. That's just a coincidence. I mean, we share some. I do, but it's not like I'm not, and it's okay if but. And also from Gandalf, I learned that that a good friend will always have a pipe and weed. And the fact that I live 2 blocks away from a medical marijuana dispensary is not a coincidence. So good and evil learn from Star Wars, because in Star Wars you have the Jedi, and you have the Sith. The Jedi good, Sith bad. And the basic difference between the two is that the Jedi way is really hard, and the Sith way is easy. So how do you become a Jedi? You fly to the most distant parts of your galaxy, you find the shittiest swamp planet you can, you stand on your head and you lift rocks and crates with your mind, and you go on cross-country marathons with Frank Oz strapped to your back, and you kill yourself in a creepy hallucination tree. To become a Sith, you hit an old guy. I mean, fuck! I would punch my grandmother in the vagina to have superpowers. So the great thing is that it translates to anything, any question about good or evil you have. It's just that Jedi, good, hard, Sith, bad, easy. So, like, the hard way is you take acting classes and you work in regional theater for years, honing your craft. You move out to Los Angeles, you work a shitty night job as a waitress, and during the day you just face rejection after rejection, doing auditions, and eventually you break big. The easy way is you're an heiress and you make a sex tape. The hard way is you are a journalist and you are a foreign correspondent for a reputable news organization. You go overseas and you meet people and discover cultures, and you take that experience and knowledge, you bring it back with you, you become an editor and then a news director, and you create a news show that illuminates and inspires and uplifts. And the easy way is that you're a morning show shock jock. You take your knowledge of fart noises and prank calls, you translate it to politics, and then you open Glenn Beck University. The hard way is you make movies, you create films that talk about the human condition, that connect and engage people in a meaningful way. You talk about the place of humans in this universe. And the easy way is you take 2 trash cans full of empty soda cans, you bang them together, you get some CGI explosions, you call it Transformers Revenge of the Fallen, and you make $400 million domestically, $850 million internationally, and that's evil. Yes. The hard way is that you spend hours and hours on a couch with a therapist, talking about your childhood and bringing up old traumas and learning to deal with your emotional scars in a holistic way so that you can become a whole person again. And the easy way is that you drink. So I think I may be a bad person. I think sometimes I get a little obsessed with video games. What I don't need is a computer telling me that I'm a little bit obsessed with video games. You may not know this because you may not play as often as I do, but some games have a little clock in there. Yeah, and you when you save your game and you click out of it, it tells you how long you played since the very beginning. And I clicked out one day, and it said 116 hours. And that's 5 days. That's not like 5 work days. That's like 5 days and nights. Alcoholics call it hitting rock bottom. Like you like, holy shit, you see everything in your life, and you have to sit down in your dark room and take an inventory, like all of these things that you have done and have not done. Like 116 hours, I could have, in 116 hours, I could have done an entire semester of high-level mathematics at an accredited university. I could have walked onto the stage knowing everything there is to know about differential topology and non-Euclidean geometry instead of how many minerals I have to mine to build a Terran missile silo. I could have learned the basics of French cuisine. I could have mastered them. The 4 mother sauces: bechamel, espagnole, velouté, and Allemande. That shit took me 5 minutes to learn. That's still like 115 hours and 55 minutes to work on my chiffonade. Like, making a souffle is real. Like, Vespine gas in the distant Capullo sector of the galaxy is not real. I could have gone to a bar, met a woman, picked her up, taken her home, had sex with her, woken up the next morning, made her breakfast, took her to work, got a frantic call from her that I should probably get tested, make an appointment, go get tested, come back home and stay up 3 nights, sleepless nights in a row, waiting for the test results, finally get a call back from her that she was negative, finally get a call back from my doctor that I was negative, go back out to the bar, meet an entirely separate woman, pick pick her up, take her home, and get through the first 6 minutes of foreplay in that time. I have to like make a choice. Like, am I going to go out and live life, or am I going to like sit here and beat the Zerg on hard? And I would go out, but I mean, I dropped to 4th place on the leaderboard, and there is no fucking way that Axor 667 is going to take my rightful place as the 3rd best StarCraft player in the fucking greater Los Angeles area without a fucking fight! I know now, like how it must feel for like UFC fighters, like going into the ring, just like testosterone and like mano a mano, you know what I'm saying? Like, well, no, like, because it's, I mean, not mano a mano, so it's like the topo e topo, like mouse on mouse. It's,
Ladies and gentlemen.